What did you see about this Eastern Conference head-to-head matchup? Here is Kyrie missing the last shot.
The Bucks defend, and that's something that probably is not a sexy thing when you start talking about like what makes a team go. I think, but based on Giannis, who embodies positionless basketball. Like so many times, even when I was young, we talked about guys playing 5 positions, especially when Magic jumped center as a rookie and ended up winning MVP when the Lakers won the championship. And then when you had these versatile players like LeBron James. But guess what? You don't want Magic Johnson or LeBron James guarding a center.
No.
And a lot of times you don't want them guarding a small, quick point guard.
No.
The Greek Freak, he's guarding 5 positions.
Jalen, I have to ask you a question. I have a confession to make. I know they got the best record in the NBA. I know they got an MVP candidate. I don't believe in the Bucks. Explain to me why I don't believe in the team with the best record in the National Basketball Association.
So I respect and fear the deer. You remember when they took Giannis, I started calling them team futuristic because I just felt like his level of versatility was going to be transcended.
Mm-hmm.
What you're used to seeing from the best team in the league is them having multiple perennial all-stars.
Yes.
And so, like, when you see on paper that the Greek Freak leads the Bucks, shout to Middleton, who was an all-star this year and well-deserved.
He squeaked into the all-star game.
And then when you looked at the Raptors, you see Kawhi Leonard, you see Pascal Siakam emerging.
Lowry.
You're like, okay, cool. But what ends up happening is you're trying to figure, is that a regular season style that's going to be able to transfer to the playoffs? Because when you look at the rosters of Philadelphia and Boston, correct me if I'm wrong,
superstars.
You see star power.
Yes.
And you know what wins usually in the playoffs?
Star power.
And so that's why right now the Bucks and the Raptors are going to have a proving ground for their doubters. And that's what the game is all about.
I don't see the Bucks or the Raptors making the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't see it. And depending how the seeding works out, I mean, you never know how the seeding is going to work out, but it feels to me that the best teams in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion, are the Sixers and the Celtics.
Well, the best regular season teams, and so there's a different style. Portland falls into this too. How they're a team that hovers around 3 to 6 every year.
Yep.
Including last year.
The last 5 years they've been
between 3
between
But when
3
people
and
talk
6.
about contending, they never bring them up.
Nope.
Because it seems like they've embodied a regular season style. That's what you're saying about the Bucks and the Raptors. We'll see if they're able to prove you and I wrong, because I actually agree with you for a lot of the reasons you said.
Jalen Rose, you have not yet officially retired from the NBA. For some reason, you feel like your phone's going to ring and someone's going to pick you up on a team. I know you feel that a little bit in your heart. Most retired athletes do. But one person associated with the NBA is definitely retired. And that's Don Nelson. And he was asked.
I'm living my best life.
He was asked about how he was handling retirement, and he gave the answer that we were all waiting for. Let's listen to the Don.
Can each of you talk briefly about what you've been doing after basketball? Coach, I know you live in Hawaii, right? So
yeah, I've been smoking some pot. Yeah. but I never smoked when I played or coached, so it's new to me. But anyway, I'm doing that, and I'm having a pretty good time.
Don, that wasn't even the question. That wasn't even the question. They're like, I know you live in Hawaii. He's like, yes, I've been smoking some pot. Also, Jalen, why he lying? I never smoked when I played or I coached. What, Don?
That's a failed test.
Are you trying to tell me that you picked up weed at 70 years old? Don.
A small percentage of the population may do such, but here's what I also appreciate. His versatility. Because I've been in the Golden State Warriors locker room when he was the head coach, and I promise you, and this is one of the reasons why it's changed, he had a lot more beer in that cooler than Gatorade, for a fact. And he would sip on a couple of them, like 4 or 5.
Really?
Before he went to the press conference.
Really?
Absolutely.
He was doing 4 beers before the press conference?
The all-time winningest and losingest coach in NBA history.
God, I love Don Nelson.
And he also embodied playing positionless basketball. Think about guys like Manu Bowles shooting the threes. Don Nelson was at the forefront.
I love Don Nelson so much. But Don, don't act like you didn't smoke when you were coaching or playing. We know, Don. Don, we know. We know.